Good. Morning, everybody. I'm just going to remind you need your long bands. This morning. If you've got a ball as well, grab a ball. That's a little bit more an advanced move. We're not using it a lot today, but if you've got it by you, great. If not, don't worry. So I said resistance bands today, and pack that I bought. I've got through so many this week. I think I've just been a bit overzealous with them. And they're different strengths, but if you've got a pair of opaque tights, that works just as well. Or if you've got any shoulder injuries and you're worried about using a resistance band, you can still do the moves without the band, but obviously, you know, it will be much better with. And also spoke to a physio this week, and if you have got any shoulder injuries, and I've got a few in my other classes, we found these were so much more beneficial because you've got that control, and as you've got that resistance, it's really supporting in the shoulder region. Instead of flinging your arms everywhere or with weights, it's just so much better. So we're going to do a class with those today. We've done it a few times this week and everybody seems to have enjoyed it, so I hope you guys do too. We're actually on half past, so I know I normally get a couple of stragglers, but we are going to start. So morning everybody, morning on Facebook as well. So as I say, we're doing a resistance bands class today. Either grab a band, it's the long bands we're looking for, or grab a pair of opaque tights. If you don't have one, that works just as well. So on this lovely Friday morning, we're going to start with a couple of deep breaths. So let's just get ourselves in the Pilates mood. Feet hip distance apart. You know, I'm going to nag about alignment. Knees and feet and hips all in line. Soften through those knees. And I'll take those shoulders just up, drop those shoulders away from your ears, nice and long through the neck. We're going to start with a couple of deep breaths. So as we breathe in, we're going to open out the arms towards the ceiling, take your gaze towards the ceiling, and as you exhale, spread those fingers really wide. And let's go again. We're going through 3 of these. Really reach up as tall as you can, grow nice and tall, and then spread the arms wide, spread the fingers wide. And the last one. Deep breath in and release. Okay, I'm going to check who's awake. Have had good fun with this week. Float those arms at chest height. And I want you to do arm circles, but in opposite directions. And can I tell you that men cannot do that? In my male classes, cannot do this. So let's see who's awake this morning. I can't even hear you giggle. We've had lots of giggles trying to do this week. So Pilates is it's a de-stressor and use concentration. I know mine look a bit weird now, change direction. What I found was the men just started swimming arm actions, could not do this one at all. They might look a little bit strange, but just get your arms moving. Okay, 2 nice big arm circles. And release. Okay, hands onto your shoulders. Working into that shoulder joint, relax through the neck. Concentrate what's happening with your whole shoulder girdle, what's happening with your shoulder blades at the back. You feel that? I know mine are there because they make a terrible noise, but relax through that neck. Nice big circles. Try not to arch out through the chest. It's the shoulders we're trying to work through. Now, opposite direction. And don't forget to breathe. 3, 2, and 1, and release. Okay, we're going to walk through the hips, knees, and ankles. We're going to do squats, slightly different to normal. So we're going to do normal squat, and then into a lunge, normal squat, and then alternate your legs. Okay, so we're really working into the hips. So in a normal squat, the weight's in the heels, keep the head and chest forward, keep the knees over the toes, stagger legs as you come back, the back knees coming down to the floor, and push to standing, and then a double, and then a single. Again, I'm going to do some concentration. See how low you can get in your double squat, within all your squats actually. Foot back, back back, knees coming down to the floor, push through that foot to come to standing, into a double. So raising the heart rate a little bit. Oh, don't do it like that. And then back to a double and a single. Really open out through that shoulder joint as you're squatting back, so reaching up. And a squat. And the last one. And last double. And release. Well done, everybody. Take those feet wide. Turn the feet out at 10 to 2. And what we're going to do, if I just show you the legs first, we're just going to take the weight from side to side. Now, what? Push that knee over that foot. Okay. Right, so what we're going to add on to that is we're coming up and over on one side, back to the centre, and as you come to the other side, hinge forward, reach forward, stick that bottom out, and back up. So up and over, back to the centre, reaching forward, and up. So feel it through those hips. Warming up through the knees as well. Push up and over, grow nice and tall, and forward, up and over. And this is a lovely one to get started. Make sure that knee isn't going over that toe on the bent knee. Okay, one more this side, up and over. And really reach forward, sticking that bottom out and release. Okay, now we're going the other side. Forward, up and over, good reach. Forward. Isn't it amazing how your sides differ? You find that your balance on one side is so much better than the other. Sticking that bottom out to the back, feel it through the inner thigh. Up and over. And reach. And now we're going for the last one. Up and over. And reach. And release. Okay, right, bringing those feet together. We're just going to do some heel raises. Just getting that balance going and warming up through the ankles, soften through the knees, and you're just going to take your weight onto the ball of your feet and raise up and slowly lower. So you should feel this strengthening through the hamstrings, feeling it in the quads as well. You're engaging your core. So spot something in the distance and just keep your gaze on to that. Now, just a reminder of how to engage your core. It's not sucking your tummy button back to your spine. It's actually raising up. So what you need to do is pull up through the pelvic floor gently, and you will engage your core that way. I will go through the Pilates breath again, how to recruit those muscles. Okay, two more. Nice and tall. And up. If you're ever doing that and you've got very weak ankles, put the ball between your ankles just to keep them in line. Now, grab your bands. I think we've been doing some bands this week with Sasha, actually. Okay, hands into your hands. So it's dumb waiter, elbows into your waist, opening out through the chest, soften the knees. So palms facing up towards the ceiling, nice and long through the neck. And we're just going to take one arm back and then alternate. Keeping the elbows in, you will feel your abs starting to work as well. Feel those triceps. I think after my second class on Monday, I was nearly crying doing these, and then I realised actually I could lengthen my band. So I want you to challenge yourselves, but you shouldn't feel any pain. If you have got shoulder injuries, just release the band a little bit. Nice and long through the neck. And obviously, if you want more of a challenge, bring your hands closer together, shortening the band. Neutral spine throughout, so just check you've not started to arch out through the back. Get nice and long through the neck. So what we found this week, how targeted it is when you use the band, so really feel it into those triceps. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Back to the center. Okay, same thing, but 2 arms together. So opening them nice and wide. So you're strengthening through the chest as well. Feel it into the shoulders at the back. Don't forget to breathe. I do have a class that do forget to breathe. I get quite a few blue faces. I have to shout out to them. Okay, so relaxing through the knees. Opening out through the chest. Keep those elbows into the waist. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And release. Okay, take the band. Put your foot on the band. That's your front foot. Bend that front leg. So into a little lunge. Hands either side of the band. And what we're going to do is going to raise the arms backwards. Now, don't lock the arms out, but they need to be straight. But if you have got shoulder injuries and you find it easier to bend, you can. But if you can straighten them, you will feel your abs kicking in as well. Nice and long through the neck. So as well as you can feel it in your triceps, but you can feel it in the front of your shoulder as well. Just check that posture, that you're not curled forward or really arching out through that back. Nice and tall through the spine. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, change legs. I'm going to say move. So do another set, but just change the legs. Bend that front knee, stand one behind. So you just nice little lunge forward, and when you're ready, straightening those arms again. So I've got my thumbs facing forwards in my grip. That affects which muscles you're actually using into the shoulders, nice and long through the neck. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and release. Okay, 2 feet onto the band. Sticky band. Okay, we're just going to do curls. So nice and tall, open out through those shoulders. End the band in either hand. Soften through the knees, and when you're ready, we're doing curls and slowly lower. Curls and lower. Now, only go as far as you can. If you can't get all the way up, that's fine. If you need to reduce the range of movement, do that. If you find you're really rocking backwards and forwards, literally keep it here. If you can do full curls, oh, feel it in those biceps. And your abs as well. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and release. So in the same position, we're going to take these arms nice and wide. Now again, if you've got a real problem with the shoulders, just keep it a nice low movement. Nice and tall through the spine, and when you're ready, we're taking them out to the side. So my thumbs are going up towards the ceiling. And do it, chasing down, but let's just have a bit of rotation through the front of the shoulders. Again, nice and long through the neck. Everything should be slow and controlled. Watch that neutral spine. Leveling the hips. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one, and release. Okay, off the band. Drop the band to the floor. We're just going to do some roll downs and then we're coming straight back onto the band. We're just going to transition from standing to coming onto the mat. We have a nice bit of mobilization through the spine and through the hips. Always a good one, this one. I was talking the other day and we talked about kitchen Pilates, and very often I'll do this standing, waiting for kettle to boil or whatever I'm doing in the kitchen. Okay, second and third toe facing forward, soften the knees, hips and ankles are in line. Take those shoulder blades up, back and down, nice and long through the neck. Relax the abdominal muscles. So we're going for a Pilates breath. So breathing in through the nose, push the air down to the lungs, feel the lungs expand, and you should feel that tummy expand when you relax the abdominal muscles. As you exhale, feel the tummy retract, draw up through the pelvic floor, connecting with the core, and we're going into a roll down. So chin to chest. Good stretch through the neck and start to peel off the spine, one vertebrae at a time. Relax the shoulders and the arms, coming all the way down into a forward fold. The weight of your hips should be behind your heels. Keep those hips level all the way down to the mat now. Soften those knees, don't lock the knees out. Hold this position. If you can, just raise the tailbone up towards the ceiling, a little bit more extra stretch through the hamstrings. And take a deep breath in, and as you breathe out, draw it through the pelvic floor to connect to the core. We're coming back to standing, so we're stacking one vertebrae at a time on top of each other, all the way up. Head is the last thing to come up. So I take the shoulders up, back and down, and raise the head. And we're going again, deep breath in, relax those abdominal muscles, and as you breathe out, draw up through the pelvic floor, connect to the core to stabilize the hips and the spine. And off we go again, chin to chest. Really exaggerate this movement so you're separating those vertebrae all the way down to that forward fold, getting that chest onto the thighs. Breath in, breathe out, connect to the core and all the way back to standing. I find on this second one that I feel a lot taller. Remember, the head's the last thing to come up. Standing nice and tall. Okay, last time, but we stay down in the forward fold. Breath in, breathe out, chin to chest, and off we go. So see if you can get closer to the floor, chest closer to the thighs, raise that tailbone up, getting a good stretch through the hamstrings, relax through the neck. And when you're ready, we're going to walk out to plank. So small movements with the hands, keeping the hips as still as you can. Take the shoulders over your wrists, nice and long through the neck. Drop those hips down, and we're just going to hold that plank. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2 and 1. Okay, slowly take those knees to the floor. Grab your band. So this takes a little bit of explanation, but it's definitely worth it. So I've got my right knee on the band. I'm extending my left leg out to the side. I've got my left arm holding the band. It's easier if I do that. What we're going to do, we're coming down to the mat. Slowly come down. Get that shoulder over the wrist. Open out through the chest. Now, as I reach up towards the ceiling with the band, I'm actually going to raise this leg up, top leg up, knees facing forward, and then relax and draw it in. So like a small crunch, and then reach away. Okay, so for any advanced among you that want a bit more of a challenge, you can actually do this with the ball. So you put your hand on top of the ball, and it's just challenging that core even more. Don't worry if you don't want to do that today, stay here. So reaching up towards the ceiling and drawing in. So feel it through the glutes, feel it through the obliques. You're still working into that shoulder and working into that leg. Five, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and release. Push yourselves up. We're coming over to the other side. So change. So left knee on, right hand, right leg extended. Slowly lower yourself down or onto the ball. As I said, if you want a little bit more of a challenge, you can use the ball. Now, I'm always a fan of these balls, but if not, do it without. So, as you extend that leg out to the side, you're raising up and lowering. Okay, so just check your position. That underneath foot at the back should be flat. Don't grip on with your toes. You're opening out through the hips, so you're reaching up with that hand up to the ceiling. More of a challenge, shorten the band. So your core's working hard to keep you in this position. Ooh. Don't forget to breathe. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and release. Coming back to the other side, but slightly different. So extend the left leg out to the side, onto that knee, but put it in your same hand as the knee that's bent. Hand onto this waist, knee towards the ceiling, open out through the hips, and we're coming up and over. And release. Okay, again, if you've got shoulder injuries, you can drop the band altogether, or don't take it quite so far. But you should feel a good stretch through this hip as well, working into the obliques. Make sure you're nice and long through the neck. So imagine you're between 2 panes of glass. So I'm not coming forwards, up and over, and really reach up. And release. And we're going 5, 4, 3, switch that core on, 2, and 1. Why is the core so important? It's protecting our spine, stabilizing the hips. Change hands, stay in this position, and we're just going to come across with a bit of Saturday Night Fever. Drop it towards this hip, reaching away. So again, we're working in the obliques, we're working into that shoulder, a little bit of mobilization through the hips as well. Five, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Fantastic. Change sides. So knee onto the band, extend out to the side, knee towards the ceiling. And right. Okay, hands onto the hips. Reaching up and over and slow, nice and slow and controlled. Slower is stronger. Switch this core on. And to protect those hips, protect that spine. Oops. And 5, 4, really reach away. 3, 2, and 1, and release. Opposite hand to the band, and then we're just going to do a bit of Saturday Night Fever. You youngsters won't know what the hell I'm on about. Anybody else remember going to disco dancing classes before Saturday Night Fever came out? Really reach away, reach nice and tall. Think about your posture, long through the spine. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and release. Well done. Okay, come on to your bottoms. Coming onto the mat. So, we can actually start with a little bit of stretching. So what we're going to do, remember we've done climbing the tree in the last couple of weeks. So band around the foot, raise that leg up onto your sitting bones. So that's important. So remember this posture, nice and tall. Draw all the way up. I'm always worried these are going to ping actually. Getting a good stretch through that thigh. Make sure you've got enough space before you go back. Now you're going to C-curl back. Bring that leg towards your chest, hips level, and pull it towards you. Feel that stretch at the back of your leg. Drop those shoulders away from your ears. Ooh, how's that feel? Brilliant. Okay, right, we're going to lower that leg. Head and shoulders coming off the mat. And all the way back up to sitting. Now we'll do that once more on this side, raising that leg up, getting a good stretch. You need to go right the way up to the band. And very slowly, so C-curl through the spine, rolling back, keeping that other leg extended, and draw the leg towards your chest. Okay, lower the leg, head and shoulders coming off the mat, nice and controlled, all the way up to sitting, back onto the sitting bones, and release. Change legs. Really fab hamstring stretch. So all the way up as far as you can, still onto those sitting bones. Nice and tall through the spine. Slowly, C-curl, rolling back. Bringing that leg towards you. Drop those shoulders away from the ears. Ooh, pull. Release. Head and shoulders off the mat. All the way out, back up. So a nice bit of mobility as well as flexibility. Another stretch here. Not sure this band's going to last. Rolling back. Hips are level, bringing that leg towards your chest. Shoulders away from your ears. Get a really good stretch. And release. Head and shoulders off the mat. And all the way back up. Last bit of a stretch. And release. Now keep your foot into the band. Now I'm going to roll all the way down to the mat. If you want a little bit more of an advanced move with this, you can put the ball behind your shoulders, but you might want to try it first. So what we're going to do is cycling legs with the band. So we've got some resistance, and you can put one hand behind your head. So you're actually working through the chest and shoulders as well, but it's absolutely fine doing it on the mat. Make sure those shoulders are level. I find it a little bit easier if I'm on the mat and I've got it in two hands, otherwise I tend to get a little bit tangled up. So hips are level, shoulders are level on the mat. I've got neutral spine, so there's a gap between my back and the mat. Don't forget to breathe, pushing away and bringing one leg in. So you're working through the abs, working through the hip flexors as well. Working into that leg as you're pushing away on the band. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release. As with all of these, you can C-curl up by bringing your head and shoulders off the mat, using the ball, or just putting your hands behind your head. So find a challenge for you. Changing legs. Foot into the band. Knee into the chest, extend the other leg along the mat, and when you're ready, nice cycling legs. As I said, you can C-curl up here, or you can put the ball between your shoulder blades, or on the mat. Now, if you're a beginner, or you're not particularly strong in your abs or your core, you can actually take it more up to the ceiling. What the aim is that it's literally along the mat. Keep those shoulders away from the ears. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release. Change legs. Extend one leg along the mat. do this with the ball as well, actually. Let's just give it a go. You can do it flat or on the ball. And what we're going to do is leg raises. Easier to have band in one, so bringing it towards your chest and slowly lower down. Now, if you struggle with your neck here, put one hand behind your head and rest it in. Or more than happy for you to do it on the floor and get that posture correct. So it's lovely, slow and controlled movement. Bring the knee towards the chest as it comes up, foot towards the ceiling, and then slowly lower, keeping those hips nice and level. Try not to grip with the neck, so try and relax through the neck. Feel this working into your quad, but good mobility through the hip. 5, really nice and slow. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, slowly raise that to the ceiling and change legs. So send one leg along the mat, bring the other one up towards the ceiling, either on the ball or off the ball, or C curling up if you'd like to. Pull it close and then slowly lower towards the floor. Nice and long through the neck. Hips are level, both butt cheeks stay on the mat. Really push against this band, getting some good resistance, feel it into the quads. And don't forget to breathe. So I normally breathe in when it's above and I breathe out on the exertion. That enables me to recruit the correct muscles, so to draw up to my pelvic floor and engage my core. And that takes a bit of getting used to because it seems very different to what we've been taught in other areas of exercise. What I don't want you ever to do is to hold your breath when you're doing anything. It's quite a dangerous thing to do. Not because you're not breathing well, that doesn't help, but the fact of what's happening to your internal organs when you do that, and also the pressure on your heart. At 5, 4, 3, 2, and last one. Okay, now raise that towards the ceiling. Can you put 2 feet into the band? Oh, you never guess what's coming next. Hold on tight. And what we're going to do is 2 leg lowers. Now, if you are an absolute beginner, I'll give you, for those that are advanced, let me do the advanced first. So you're going to go as low as you can, and then all the way back up. Now, if you are a beginner, go as far as you can without feeling it through your back. You can bend your knees, bring your knees towards your chest, and then extend to the ceiling and slightly lower. So that's for the beginners. For those more advanced, shoulders level on the mat, lower those legs all the way to the floor, and then all the way up, keeping them nice and straight, but don't lock out through the knees. Shoulders level on the mat, nice and long through the neck. So really working into those lower abs when you're doing this. Feel it into the quads as well. I have to say my arms are doing quite a bit of work holding onto this band. Really slowly. And we're going. So this is 5. Watch that back. If you really feel it pulling on your back, don't go so far down. You still should be maintaining neutral spine. Or if you're unsure what neutral spine is, message me after the class. We have done it many times before, but if you're still unsure, just give me a message and I'll go through it with you again. And I've lost count, but let's do, if in doubt, 3 more. 3, 2, and the last one, and 1. Back up and release. Okay, 1 foot towards the floor, extend that leg along the mat. 2 hands holding this band. We're going to do leg circles. So last week we did some nice knee circles. I hope you can remember that. We're going to do the same thing but with straight leg. Again, don't lock out this knee. I've got my elbows onto the mat. Bring the leg across the body. That's when I breathe in. And as I take it away, breathing out. I'm drawing a circle, keeping both butt cheeks on the mat, hips level. Now, if you're struggling to do that and you find you're really wobbling all over the place, reduce the size of your circle. So we've got mobility into the hip, but we're also strengthening the hip. Relax through the neck and shoulders. Quite difficult when you hang it onto this band. So your legs doing the work, the band is there for resistance. Keeping your hands still. The reason I say that, I tried it the other day and I felt like I was lassoing my leg and swinging it around from the band. So no, it's still about you controlling your leg. The band is just there for a bit of resistance. Okay, one more in this direction. Now, change direction. So really lovely mobility into that hip. A bit of tension in the leg along the mat, just to stop it raising up. And remember, those hips need to be level. Okay, one more. And release. Change legs, so foot into the band, extend the other leg along the mat. 2 hands needed in the band. Got my elbows into the floor, holding onto the band. Bring my leg across the body, breathing in. And as I exhale, taking it away and recruiting those core muscles. Okay, hips level. Both butt cheeks on the mat. Shoulders level, gaze towards the ceiling. So it's my leg that's doing the work. The band is just providing a bit of resistance and a little bit of support as well. One more in this direction. Now change direction. At the time, you know what I'm like, I get very carried away. Okay, let's go 2 more. And the last one. Lovely, and release. Now, change legs. Still using the band, you're just going to do a nice a little bit more flexibility. So, 2 hands holding the band. Draw that leg towards your chest as we did earlier. Hold it there. Take a deep breath in, and as you breathe out, draw it a little bit closer. Hold it there. Don't knock this knee out. And release. Okay, now take that foot really wide. Keep the hips onto the mat, so you're opening out through the hips. Fantastic stretch there. You've got to hang on to this band for dear life. Keep both butt cheeks on the mat. Slowly back towards the ceiling. Now take it across your body. Keep your shoulders onto the mat. Obviously you'll lift this one hip up and take it across the body. Oh, a lovely bit of rotation there. Back to the center. And let's change legs. So extend one leg along the mat. Draw that leg towards your chest. Take a breath in. And as you breathe out, relax this thigh and draw it a little bit closer. And release. Okay, open out through the hips. Take the leg out to the side, head and shoulders stay on the mat. That lovely hip opening, feel that stretch. And then slowly bring it back to the center and take the leg across the body. So raise one hip off the floor, head and shoulders stay on the floor, and just release all the way down. And then back to the center. Fantastic. Okay, put both feet into the band, bend the legs, push and come up to sitting. I can't actually see what time we are, but I hope everybody's okay. Right, what we're going to do is we're going to come into child's pose, so onto all fours, just change of position. So we're starting with a hip hinge. So we're just going to come back to child's pose and then forwards, up and over your hands, take your weight forward, drop those hips forwards, push through the hands really slowly. So it's a lovely, another hip opening. That's just a lovely release. Dropping those hips, push through those hands. Open out through the shoulders. Lovely gentle exercise. Let's go for 2 more. And the last one. And release. Okay, now let's take a forward lunge. Work those legs nice and hard today. So take your weight forward. Again, stretching these legs. We're not letting them off lightly today at all, are we? Opposite hand to your foot. Rotate towards that bent leg and reach up towards the ceiling. So nice rotation through the top half of the back. Hands either side of the foot. Extend that front leg. That should feel quite good. We're doing quite a bit of hamstring stretching today. Drop that nose towards the knee. If you can, if you have sciatica, don't do this, but if you can, raise that front toe up. Ooh. And release. Change legs. Foot forward, hips facing forward. Weight forward, knee shouldn't come over the toe at the front. Really good stretch. Opposite hand to foot. Rotate. Hold it there. Okay, hand either side of the foot. Straighten that front leg. Drop the nose towards the knee. Hips facing forwards. And if you're able, raise that front toe up. Extra stretch. And release. Fantastic. Oh, okay, right. So, can we sit onto your bottoms into cross legs? So, hand to the side when you're ready. Onto your sitting bones, nice and tall, open out through the chest. Just got a little bit more stretching. We're coming up and over, which we did in the warm-up. Should be able to get a little bit further now. And up and over. So, nice flowing movements from side to side. You should get that good stretch through the obliques running down the side of your body. If you struggle to sit in this position, if you've got any knee problems, you can extend the legs forward. And round. Okay, up and over again. Okay, this time, rotate the shoulders towards that knee. Take your weight forwards and walk your hands round to the other side. Really feel this into the glutes. Open out. And back up, and again, up and over. Rotate the shoulders so that over the knee, really reach forward, but keeping the sitting bones on the floor. Open and release. Okay, we'll extend those legs forward. What we're going to do, raise the arms nice and tall, turn sideways, it might be a bit easier. Okay, rotate into cactus. And back up, just working through the top half of the spine. We did quite a little bit of leg work today. Really reaching up and rotating. Okay. If you struggle with this position, seated position, you can always put a cushion underneath your body, bottom, or bend the knees slightly. But the aim is that you extend the legs forward and feel that nice rotation. 4, 3, 2, and 1, and release. Okay, back into cross legs. We're just going to work into the neck just to finish off. So onto those sitting bones, drop that head forward. Now relax the head, let the weight of the head give you a lovely stretch through the neck. Now roll the head to one side, ear towards the shoulder, bring that chin forward, and then round to the other side. Don't forget that posture, sitting nice and tall. Okay, once more each side. Okay, and the last one. And back to the center. Slowly raise that head up. And rotate. To the center. Side to side. Don't force anything. Not jerking, just do it slowly and nice and controlled. And then back to the center. Okay, so finishing off, and then take a deep breath in. I'm going to reach up, really reach nice and tall, and exhale, spread those fingers really wide. Let's go again, deep breath in, reaching up, and exhale. And we're done for this Friday morning. Thank you everybody for joining me. Hope you have a fabulous weekend, and I hope you enjoy that class. So see you all soon. Just stop this recording.